Hi, it's Lauren, and this is my presentation on attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is also known as ADHD. ADHD is a medical condition. It is very common. Treatment can help, but this condition cannot be cured. ADHD is chronic and lasts lifelong. ADHD was first described by Hans Hoffman in the 1920s. Basically, Hoffman was tutoring a boy that had problem concentrating on his homework and realized he can't retain material, had a short attention span. He had to keep on repeating himself and just couldn't understand the basic homework. So that's basically how ADHD was found. ADHD occurs in about 5% of children. Adults can be diagnosed with these disorders, but most often they are diagnosed for the first time when the individual is a child. So usually you're diagnosed when you're a child and at a young age. On the average, boys are 3 times more likely to have ADHD than girls, which I was really surprised because most of my friends who have ADHD are girls, but I can kind of see how boys are. I actually said the other day to my mom that I think my nephew has ADHD, and she says, yeah, I see it too. ADHD is a chronic problem, like I said, one that can persist into adolescence and adulthood. ADHD can remain problematic in adults, and up to 7% of college students are diagnosed with ADHD. ADHD, sorry, I have to move my thing. With children with ADHD face severe academic and social challenges compared to their non-ADHD counterparts. Children with ADHD have lower test grades, standardized test scores, higher rates of expulsion, grade retention, and their dropout rates are higher. Hyperactivity is characterized by excessive movement, which includes squirming, leaving one seat in situations when remaining seated is expected, like sitting at a restaurant, you're out to eat with your family, you're supposed to be sitting, not moving around. And at school where you're supposed to be seated, you're not supposed to be moving around, be disruptive. Children with ADHD are also running, climbing on things, blurting out responses before another person's question or statement has been completed. They have difficulty waiting their turn and interrupt and intrude on other people's things. They're very fidgety, restless, socially disruptive, and have trouble with impulse control. They also display short attention spans, problems with concentration, and they're very distracted. They get distracted very easily. Stimulants to treat ADHD. ADHD is frequently treated with biomedical therapy. Stimulants improve the major symptoms of ADHD, which include the things I stated in the last slide: and attention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity. Sorry, I need water. About 70% and about 75% of the children who take them. The most commonly prescribed drug for ADHD are psychostimulants, which include Ritalin, Adderall, and Dexedrine. I've only heard of Adderall. I'm not really sure what the other two are, but those are just prescribed drugs for ADHD. The effects of these drugs wear off quickly, and the best drug and best dosages varies from child to child. So the dose the child takes varies, depends on the child's height, the size of them. Yeah. The most common side effect of psychostimulants in children include decreased appetite, weight loss, sleeping problems, and irritability. It's effect of the medication tapers off. Definitely the decreased appetite and weight loss, because my best friend, all my friends, but like my best friend who has ADHD, she's very skinny. When she's on the medication, she has no appetite, no emotion to, like, they're basically zombies when they're on Adderall. But when she's off the medication, she can eat anything from two pizza pies, like 16 slices, to a whole case of White Castle cheeseburgers. And when large doses of stimulants are taken, they increase activity, while in smaller doses, the same stimulants improve attention and decrease motor activity. Going on with stimulants, short-acting forms of drugs are taken as pills and last between 4 and 12 hours. Some of the drugs are available in long-acting forms, like skin patches that can be worn on the hip and last up to 12 hours. Amphetamine is also a stimulant that produces increased wakefulness and focus along with decreased fatigue and appetite. All the previous slides that I just referenced were referenced from the online textbook, and the next slides I'm going to talk about were found on the web and were stated by Marissa Cohen. One of the things I saw, which was interesting, was can you treat ADHD without drugs? Because many parents worry about side effects and want to exhaust every option before they put their child on the medicine, because like I said a few slides before, the medication can make you like a zombie, have no emotion, changes you. Compared to when you're not on it, your child's able to be themselves, basically. So when you listen to music, your brain releases dopamine, and that's a chemical that helps you focus. So that can help children with ADHD. Music can help them. So playing an instrument growing up is very helpful. So I said when a child plays an instrument, like taking piano lessons at home, it is noted that they do much better on tests than children who don't study music. So studying music is very helpful for children who have ADHD. Another small study found that when both children and parent completed an 8-week mindfulness training program, the kids had fewer symptoms of ADHD, and their parents felt less of the stress that typically came with the role of being a parent of a child with ADHD. There's also this thing called ADHD diets, which has been proposed and then dismissed by science. But with new research found, there's a connection between omega-3 that helps students that helps people with ADHD, and these nutrients are found in fish such as salmon. They're also found in walnuts, flax seeds, soy products, leafy greens, and other foods. They're also available in over-the-counter supplements, as in the prescription Viagra. So it's clear that it's very easy to find this nutrient. Parenting a child with ADHD, parents often criticize their child who has ADHD for their behavior. To the parent, it is more helpful to seek out and praise good behavior instead of punishing your child who has ADHD or taking away things for bad behavior. They cannot help it. Things that you can do to help is set up an effective discipline system. That means learning methods. Sorry, my throat is really dry. That means learning discipline methods that reward appropriate behavior and respond to misbehavior with alternatives such as timeout or loss of privileges. Yeah. You need to provide clear and consistent expectations, directions, and limits. They don't know what's expected of them, so you need to let them know what is expected of them. A child with ADHD, stuff should be organized. Everything should be kept in a place, which includes their clothes, their backpacks, and school supplies, or else they'll get very miscombobulated. So yeah, that's my presentation on ADHD. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.